Your family, your health, our passion. This is Family Practice with Dr. Jeffrey Fox, sponsored by Family Practice Associates of Lexington, PSC. Visit us at fpalex.com and like us on Facebook.
Welcome back. We're in the WKYT kitchen to talk foodborne illnesses and food safety, because we're going to try to help you avoid giving your holiday guests food poisoning. And here to help me do that is Lindsey Clickner, who is a nurse practitioner with Family Practice Associates. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Well, now I said food poisoning. Kind of tell us what that means.
So food poisoning is a general term for a digestive tract inflammation or infection. So we've all heard the term food poisoning. It's fairly common in the United States. Several different viruses, bacteria, parasites can all cause food poisoning. So hopefully we'll give you some insight today on how not to do that at your Thanksgiving table.
Well, if you get food poisoning, what kind of symptoms might you think, oh, I ate something I shouldn't have?
Sure. So food poisoning is relatively self-limited if you have a healthy digestive tract. And if you're an otherwise healthy individual, you might have a fever, nausea, vomiting, some dehydration, certainly upset stomach, cramping, and diarrhea.
So if you get the symptoms, and most of the time you said it is self-limited, can you treat yourself at home?
You can. Oral rehydration is key. Water, some Gatorade, Pedialyte, saltine crackers are a good source of rehydration. And you know, in the medical field, we like to say this is your body's way of getting rid of something, right? So you can use some of the over-the-counter products, but I would say generally speaking, we want you to rest and rehydrate.
Now, you use the term hydration. What are some symptoms of dehydration that you might want to think, I'm getting behind the
Sure.
eight ball here?
You certainly want to watch for acute signs of dehydration in young children and the elderly. Signs of dehydration would be mental confusion, low blood pressure, dizziness, just a general feeling of fatigue, especially in children. If you notice they're crying and they're not producing tears, if they have less than 6 wet diapers in a day, dehydration can set in fairly quickly. So you want to be proactive if you're having, as an adult, more than 6 loose stools in a day, or if your diarrhea or vomiting continues for more than 3 days.
Okay, so how are we going to prevent it?
That's right.
We've got a turkey.
Prevention is
yeah.
key.
Turkey, that's paper turkey, probably not going to cause us any
Right,
problem. But the real turkey can.
It sure can. In fact, the highest rates of food poisoning happen in November and December, and even the most experienced chefs this can occur. So the one thing you want to do is make sure that you're safely storing and de-thawing your turkey. So your turkey is going to come in a sealed package, right? So you do not want to remove that turkey during the de-thawing process, okay? So all the juices, you know, when you're de-thawing your turkey will be self-limited, all right? So you want to make sure that your turkey is safely de-thawed. You'll just have to use the guidance as to whether you're de-thawing in cold water, in the refrigerator. We do not recommend de-thawing out on a counter. Bacteria can grow very rapidly in what we call the danger zone, which is between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's why cooking a turkey properly is so important too. So you want the internal temperature of your turkey to be 165 degrees. Now, most turkeys have that little pop-up kind of timer, and they say, you know what? Don't always rely on that. Get a meat thermometer, put it in the thickest part of the turkey to make sure that that turkey is properly cooked through.
And if you get the turkey on the counter or cutting board, you need to really wash everything.
Absolutely. Wash hot soapy water is perfectly fine. And speaking of washing, the one thing that I think it's really hard for people to break the habit in is this: the Food and Drug Administration does not recommend washing any type of poultry. That includes chicken. You don't need to pre-wash your chicken, your turkey in the sink. Cooking is going to kill that bacteria, and you're potentially then introducing that bacteria to other surfaces in your kitchen, especially when the water is kind of, you know, dropping all over your counter space.
But there's more than just turkey. There's vegetables, and that's something you do want to wash because they can also cause food poisoning.
Absolutely. So you're going to take your vegetables. You just need to run it under the sink water, and then make sure you're separating your vegetables from your poultries. You know, using separate utensils. Use a separate cutting board. Certainly wash surfaces in between the food prep with hot soapy water.
Well, that's great information. And if you get food poisoning and you've got bad symptoms, see your doctor. But if you pay attention to here today, maybe you won't need to do that.
That's right.
All right. We'll be right back.